This is the One Episode Rule podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie. Um, I, I, I don't know what to talk about. My legs are a little sore. It's up to me, I guess. I'm
Leg
going to
day.
talk about some stuff in like the news segment, but other than that, anyway, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Blackle. I'm currently doing the FODMAP diet so that I can figure out why my tummy hurts.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
And
that is.
I feel better
presumably why
already.
Blackwood's been gone.
Yeah. I'm sure that sure that you'll make a swift recovery. At least I hope so.
Mhm. I feel better already.
Good. Well, I'm Joey. Haven't really been consuming anything this week. You know how you go like in cycles where you just watch lots of anime and then you just don't, and then I mean, I guess I've watched a bit of my my old comfort classics, but nothing much else. It's just been sort of a quiet week for all of us, I think. How about you, Louie?
Darn, I was hoping you'd just keep going and if I didn't jump in.
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Louis. I didn't watch anything. No, I don't think I watched anything. I was going to watch what came out this week that just started back up. Demon Slayer and Butcher Mercury. But I didn't. So maybe I will in the future.
I watched something. Actually,
What'd you watch?
Because because in the news here, they dropped a trailer for Star Wars Visions Volume 2, which is pretty cool. So I went back and checked out Visions 1, basically, and watched 2 of those shorts, and I have decided that this is the most interesting Star Wars media they're making right now.
Sweet.
Because friendship ended with The Mandalorian.
I don't even know if we finished that.
Well, I'm completely uninterested in season 3, so.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I caught one that was about what was it? One of them was a duel between 2 Sith while 7 Samurai went on in the background. That's cool.
Sweet.
That was just cool. And then there was one about escaped Padawan forming a band and deciding not to be a Jedi.
I'm into that.
And getting hunted by Boba the Fett.
Boba's always there.
So yeah, that seems rad. Glad to see they're going to make more of that.
Cool.
As for our second news item, we have to acknowledge the honors heaped upon our old friend Rumiko Takahashi, who has been knighted by France.
Oh,
she
good
has
for her.
she has received the order of the Knight. She's Knight of the Order of Arts and Letters.
Yeah, that's appropriate. How she can nightly shoot things with a bow and arrow.
But yeah,
That's what she does, right?
I think that's a pretty good acknowledgement for a career that started in like 1978 and continues to now.
That's fascinating.
Let's see. She also has some other awards that you may not know about. She was inducted into the Harvey Awards Hall of Fame in 2021 and the Will Eisner Comic Awards Hall of Fame in 2018. So
sweet. Yeah, that's a long time to.
She got the 2020 medal with purple ribbon from the Japanese government.
Nice.
So she's entered the same company as guys like Go Nagai and Katsuhiro Otomo. So
Hell yeah.
Akira Toriyama. And Shigeru Miyamoto. So yeah, that's the news.
Simple but sweet.
I think it's time. I think it's time that one of you picks up the pistol I placed on the table.
All right.
I'll grab it.
Whoop.
Um,
Blackle
and
has it.
selects
I
a
twist it
number,
around in my finger, like a sort of like
like
revolver,
revolver
ocelot,
ocelot.
style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you going to meow at us?
Yeah.
Do it.
Meow.
Okay.
So,
Very-
A little
yes.
kitty cat.
so select a number.
The number is 2.
All right. This time we're going to watch Romantic Killer.
Whoa!
Oh my.
People were just talking about this.
So, I'll see you. I'll see you all on the other side. Anzu Hoshino, thy struggle is divine. Oh man, this is what happens whenever you make an anime out of like Russian literature.
Uh-huh.
Who wants this blur?
Sure, I'll read it. Anzu Hoshino needs only 3 things in her life: video games, chocolate, and her beloved cat. Unlike other high school girls, Anzu has no time for or interest in romance. But as she begins playing a poorly programmed 3D otome game, a bizarre flying wizard named Riri emerges from the screen and calls Anzu Subject 1, the first person who will experience a dating game harem storyline in real life. Despite Anzu's fiery protests, Riri confiscates her favorite things to force her to focus on love. Riri orchestrates a series of unlucky incidents and romantic cliches that lead her to meet Tsukasa Kazuki, one of the most attractive boys in her school. Still enraged, Anzu is adamant about resisting Tsukasa's charm. As all the ridiculous fabricated scenarios help Anzu warm up to Tsukasa's pleasant nature, Riri throws other stereotypical pretty boys her way, and avoiding romance quickly becomes almost impossible. So this is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a Kafka story.
I
This Riri sucks.
Riri
Yes.
is awful, but also is not portrayed sympathetically. So
No.
this is fine. So
Just wanna
let's
establish that.
let's get into this. Is that Anzu Hoshino begins this tale by telling us a little bit about herself, and basically that her whole history is just like, oh, I didn't like do karaoke or hang out with the girls. I played my Game Boy with the boys,
Mhm.
and I bought sackfuls of chocolate to eat myself,
Mhm.
and I played video games all weekend. And I like it that way. And when I'm lonely, I hang out with my cat, who's adorable.
Yes. Pictured
It's,
of her snuggling the cat, and the cat's just like resisting.
it's too much. It's too much for the poor animal.
Mhm.
I'm not even sure the animal is part of this curse. He he might just need some fucking time.
Yeah.
But he's a cat after all.
Yep. Just a kitty.
But we open on her standing in her foyer, having received a package, which is she's got her newest video game in, and she's hype, and like that. Weirdly, it wasn't meant to, but that like tugged a weird heartstring in me. It's just like, I miss being hyped about video games. Now I'm merely interested.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah.
yeah, she's got it in like a big box too. I don't know, which maybe just a Japanese thing, but
Yeah.
she takes it back. She's just like, yeah, it's the weekend. I'm gonna bust this open. I got my chocolate. I got my cat.
Bless
We're
it.
about to have some fun.
Mhm.
And she takes the disc out and starts to boot it up. And this is clearly not the game that she chose, because we're introduced to some of the best, worst 3D models I've ever seen. It's going to be hard to describe my feelings about them, other than they are an incredible instrument of comedy.
They made them purposely shitty looking, and they did a really good job at it.
Yeah, they're just like, they're truly wretched to look upon. Playing out the beginnings of like an otome game, so like a visual novel romance. And she's just like, did they change the opening cutscene on this? What the hell's going on? It's just like, well, might as well hit start. And she goes to hit start, and it starts playing in the opening cutscene. It's just like, this is clearly not what I ordered. She's looking at the cover, and it looks like she ordered like something like Ni no Kuni or something, but
Right.
just like a JRPG, but or just an RPG, considering she's in J, but whatever. Terrible genre name to begin with. So yeah, she's just like, well, this clearly isn't what I fucking want. Why is there a little fucking corn nugget coming out of my screen?
Oh, I hate this corn nugget.
because Riri introduces himself very quickly by dragging himself out of her fucking screen Sadako style. It takes him a significant amount of effort for a wizard instead of just passing through. He has to pull.
I mean, he's jelly bean shaped, and he's got like stick figure arms and legs. So
Yeah, he's he's a cartoon character. But yeah, he pulls himself out, and it's just like, it's just like, congratulations, you're test subject number 1 for my great project. Just like, here, observe, and he points to the screen, and it just fills with shitloads of kanji, and she's just like, I don't want to read all that shit. You sum it down to three sentences, and she's like, oh sure, and he just shrinks it.
yeah,
It's just like, no, just tell me, what the hell? It's just like, Anzu Hoshido, you have forsaken every opportunity for romance in your life. So you have become the first test subject where we will make your life into an otome game.
yeah.
You will be constantly surrounded by handsome men. We'll be able to live out your romantic fantasies. And she's like, wait, what? Really? And like, initially she's just like, wait, that's insane. You can't do that. And it's just like, I don't know about this. And she's just like, she turns around and she's like, what do you think about a cat? And the cat's gone. And she's just like, where's my cat?
They stole her fucking
like,
cat.
Like, they shot her dog. But yeah, she's just like, where's my cat? And he's just like, aha, I knew you wouldn't be able to concentrate on romance, so I took away your 3 greatest loves in this life so you could concentrate on it. Chocolates, your cat, and video game.
Horrifying.
And she just like runs over to the cabinet to pull it open, and all of her video games are full of like fucking jerkied eel.
Yeah.
And she's just like, it's still software. And she's just like, shut the fuck up.
Stupid.
So she progresses immediately from incredulous to just enraged, and she's like, none of this is worth it. This isn't worth it. I will always choose chocolate and cat and video games over. They keep throwing around ikemen, which we're just gonna shorthand for like handsome guy.
Yeah.
Because it's a Japanese idiom I don't really understand.
Yeah.
She's just like, absolutely not. And he's just like, I knew this would be the case. That's why I confiscated them. Until you experience a true romance, like romantic thriller here, which is the horrible game that he made,
the game name
to suck her in. You will never see these things again. And like, she turns around and like all of the chocolate is gone from her snacks, and just leaving like the sticks or like the nuts.
The wizard does lick his lips.
Yeah,
he's got chocolate on them.
He's confiscated it. And she's like, "This is bullshit. You can't do this to me." And he's just like, "Haha, I have," and he leaves. And she just starts like turning over the house trying to find her cat, and she's like, where's the cat? And she points up, and the cat's on top of like the air conditioning unit facing away from her.
And she's just
ignoring
like
her.
trying to get its attention. She's like, "Look at me, my sweetie. Look over here."
And behind her, her dad comes in, and it's just like, honey, I've got big news. I've been transferred to America, and you're coming with me. And she's like, wait, what? What the fuck is going on back there? It's just be like, yeah, but well, we have to pack quickly. Our flight's soon. It's just like, what about me? It's just like, oh, you have school. You'll have to stay. Don't worry. It'll just be for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Wait, my dad works at the post office.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
the
My
fuck?
dad works at at fucking Japan Post. What's he gonna do in America?
Deliver Japan's mail to Americans.
Who knows?
But yeah, like the next day they're packed up and ready to go. It's and the only reason that we know it's the next day is because they've all changed outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, "This is bullshit. I can't believe this." And
She's like, "How did they do that so quick?"
and Riri appears again, and it's just be like, "Well, we had to get things ready for you. We had to get everything out of the way." And she's like, "This is bullshit. I'm not doing this. You can't throw handsome men at me." So she runs. She runs out. She's like, "I'm gonna find some chocolate." And like every place is sold out, and one place is selling like wheat protein now.
Yeah.
And she just has a mental breakdown in the fucking aisles of a 7-Eleven.
She's like, "I'm
Yeah.
never gonna eat chocolate again." Ah.
And she's just like, that's where she makes her declaration, because she's just like, I have been denied the things I love most in this life, and it has made me into a monster.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's just like, I will crush any attempt to romance me until this little freak goes away forever.
Oh yeah, and then this is where she says the thing. She says, "This will instead of being a romance thriller,
Romantic
it's going to be a
thriller.
romantic killer."
And then there's a bunch of skulls with it. We're really underselling like the amount of animation that's going into it. It's very energetic.
It's a lot.
But yeah, and she's just like, okay, time to go home and prepare. And as soon as she pushes the door open, she just knocks some guy's phone out of his hand onto the ground, and it instantly shatters.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry." And she looks at him, and he's got a fucking aura. And it's just like, "Oh shit, it's one of them."
It's one of the handsome boys.
Just like, I know what this is. This is trying to force me into a meet cute. Ugh.
No.
And she's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll pay for it." And he's just like, "Don't worry about it. You don't have to do that." And she just steals herself, and she's just like, "Thanks, bye,"
Uh-huh.
and books it.
Yeah.
Books it home. What's the next scene?
I think the next scene is she's going to school the next day.
Yeah, is it her going to school the next
I
day?
think so.
When does the cockroach scene happen?
That happens later.
That happens
It's like,
near the end.
yeah, one of the last
but
things.
but yeah, she's going to school the next day, and she's walking along, and Riri just appears behind her, and she's just like, "Let's go to school." "Why are you running? Why are you running?" Because she just bolted as soon as she saw him.
Mhm.
Understandable.
And, yeah, because he's a freak. Also, he does reveal his like horrible motivations, in which he's just being paid to do this. He's got money riding on this.
He's paid to do this to raise the population.
Oh yeah,
Like,
this is like real
Shinzo
Nippon
Abe.
Kaigi shit. Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate it. I hate it so much.
The falling population. So yeah, he catches up to her in the subway, and they continue their conversation, and she's just like, "I am absolutely not doing this. You go to hell and stop following me. I hate you, and I'm going to ignore you because it will make me seem crazy if I talk to you." And we do get something like important for like the comedy, which is when they're conversing, everybody else doesn't see it.
They cannot see
Mhm.
this little wizard creature.
Which leads her to just do immediate violence to him, which I think is very appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah, every time she sees him from this point, she attempts to strangle him.
I literally wrote good, kill him.
She
Kill.
bounced him off early in an earlier scene in the house. She bounced him off the walls like a racquetball.
Yes, it was very funny. I was like,
It was
good.
very good. She has more restraint than me because literally every time he spoke, he would just see my hand coming at him like the meme,
Aw.
just to crush his trachea.
Reaching to destroy.
I'm going to squeeze the weeb juice out of him, but
God.
that's a callback.
Mhm.
But yeah, and she's just like, well, don't underestimate my magic. And he just fucking kneecaps her. She's going down the stairs.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I was
She's like,
just
you didn't even do magic just then. You
It's
just actually
it's
attacked me.
a kind of magic called strategy, bitch. Later. Because yeah, she's fallen down the stairs and she's run into Sukasa again, who was the guy with the phone. And he just looks down. He's just staring down at her, just like, "Why are you on the floor?" And there's like a weird beat here where
Mhm.
she's just like, he's trying to get him to help me up, but he doesn't. He just stands there staring.
Mhm.
And
She
his
doesn't
friend,
want help either. She
and his friend comes up and he's just like, "For fuck's sake, help him!" And she's like, "No, no, 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 I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's good, I'm fine." He's just like, okay." And they walk off, and she gets up and walks, a respectable distance behind them. It's fucked up to say goodbye to somebody and then walk in the same direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're waiting. So they all end up bunched up again, but she's standing like 20 feet away, waiting on the train to presumably go into the city and go to school. While they're there, Tsukasa receives a ambush like love confession in the traditional Japanese visual novel style.
Mhm.
Some girl's just like, "I always like you. Please take my letter," and he's just like, "No, thank you." And he keeps walking. Everybody's just like, "Shit, what an asshole!"
His friend's like, you should have at least just taken it. And he's like, I didn't want her to get the wrong idea.
Yeah, I didn't want to give her the wrong idea.
Wow, fuck, dude.
And the bitch girl. This this one from the animes. The designated bitch
Uh-huh.
comes over. She's just like, "God, yeah, that is passé, isn't it? I mean, a letter in this day in this era, and the guy with him is just like, I'd like a letter."
The friend seems fairly nice.
He's just like normal.
Like a nice little dude.
And she's like, "Why didn't you answer any of my text messages?" She's like, "My phone is busted." And she's like, and you can see Anzu in the background. She's like, "Oh," she'd be like,
The
"Well,
animation in that part was really good.
It was
didn't
pretty
you,
funny.
It's like
yeah,
melting.
didn't you?" Yeah, well, she gets hit by arrows coming from their words, but
Mhm.
she's like, "Didn't you have any insurance on it?" And she's like, "No, I was too cheap to buy the insurance." She's like, "Oh." She'd just be like, "Are you gonna get a new one soon?" It's just be like, just like, "Not for a while. I'm flat broke." And she's like, "Oh." So our next scene is at the school where she's hanging out with her friend in line for lunch to the cafeteria, and she's like, "Yeah, my folks, they moved out like in a day." She's like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Mhm.
Just, like, I didn't even have time to. I'm not used to getting up early. I didn't even have time to pack my lunch. Thanks for coming with me, by the way. And she's like, "No, that's fine. I've never been to the cafeteria here." And they step up to the cafeteria lady, and they're just like, what am I gonna have? It's just like, "I'll have lunch one." And Tsukasa is also there ordering lunch one, and they just like look at each other and like, ugh.
Ugh.
uh, she's just like, "Ah, geez, I'm just gonna take this shit over there and eat." And she goes and sits with her friend to eat, and immediately behind them, while she's trying to eat, she just says, "Tsukasa, can I sit here?" She's like, ah, shit. And the girl's just like, you live alone, don't you? Can I come visit? Where's your house? And she's like, I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear any of this shit. And she starts to eat so fast that she gets it all stuck in her throat in a big cartoon lump.
Yeah.
Before she can run away. I
Mhm.
think our next scene is just back at the house,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and she's just lying on the couch, like dead, because she's just like, what do people do without
Mhm.
video
People do
games?
video games. I'm so bored.
I'm just like, you could take up manga. Come on,
That's true.
educate yourself. But take out a chemistry textbook.
Read
It's
some
a
Learn how.
Russian
creative
novellas.
hobby.
Learn how to.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I've got something for you. It's this German guy.
Read Das Kapital.
It's about Gregor Samsa, a guy who turns into a bug when he wakes up one morning. So yeah, she's just like, what do I do? She's like, well, I'm kind of hungry. I guess I'll make dinner. And she goes to the kitchen, and they're like weirdly. The show is so delicate about roaches. Because it's
I
blurred
know.
out to begin with. It's got like mosaic censorship, like it's a dick. But
Mhm.
and then they put a slice of cake over it because they say it's distasteful.
We converted it to cake.
Um,
The cake is just running around
so
the
it's just
room.
skittering around the floor. And we learned that Anzu is fucking terrified of roaches, and her mom's the one who dealt with them before.
She's
Uh,
gone. She's gone to
um,
America.
and she's just like, I've got to awaken the soldier in me, and she just points this big can of bug spray at it, and just a little toot comes out of the end, and she just panics and runs out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time she comes back to her senses, she's standing in a playground outside, and she's like, I didn't even get the right sandals. I'm
Like wearing
mismatched.
mismatched shoes.
She's wearing like a croc and and a plastic sandal.
Mhm.
She's like, I don't want to go home, but I'm so hungry, and oh god, it's raining.
Yep.
Mhm.
This is one of the moments that made me genuinely cackle out loud because when it starts raining, she gets off of the bench she's on and she like tucks herself like halfway under it,
Mhm.
but like she's like still halfway poking out.
Just
I
like a
can't like
like a
describe the
dog would
comedy
do.
of the scene. She just basically sticks her head under there and she's like, "Wait, no, this is not gonna work." And she just gets out. I don't know. It was very funny.
um, and she finds herself a tire. I think a big, like one of those big tractor tires that they bury halfway in playgrounds
Mhm.
to sit under, and she's just sitting under there moping, waiting for it to quit raining. When somebody comes by with an umbrella, and guess who it is? It's the guy, and they just stare at each other for a while.
Yeah.
That's the end of the. That's the
Yeah,
end of that.
that's it. And then the fucking Riri guy
Then
like
the,
says
then the
some
little
shit.
Outro.
yeah, then the little candy corn motherfucker comes back.
Also, can we talk
Yeah.
about the fact that the Vocaloid twins are in the opening and they didn't show up once?
I know.
Is
Why
that
are they there?
is that who
I
those
don't know
are?
if that's intended
You
to
know
be
who
who
I'm
they are,
talking
but they
about,
looked
though.
No.
yes. The little blonde ones.
Are those a Vocaloid thing?
There's two Vocaloids. They're blonde twins, and I don't know, the characters in the intro did look suspiciously like similar to them. I know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
That's weird.
It is weird. I want to say their names like Rin and Lin or something like that.
Something like that.
Oh, I'm looking at them.
Uh,
Those aren't the same. That's not them.
It's them. In spirit, it's
I
them.
mean, yeah.
They're just blonde.
They're just blonde twins.
Um, so yeah. What do we think about this show?
Um,
Awful.
ah,
I
Pretty
am
mid on it,
charmed.
honestly.
I am charmed by Anzu's character.
yes. I like I don't know if I think this is a good show, but I find like it's almost like a little bit of an intriguing show almost. Like if I were to watch more of this, I feel like my watching would be more akin to a hate watch, but I
Yeah.
don't hate it
Yeah.
either.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know about this. This is working as a comedy. Like it's
Like that's what I'm saying. It's confusing to me.
its visual comedy is on point. Like the fucking horrible 3D models are exactly as horrible as they need to be.
Yes, they are
They're
exactly what.
fucking
Like,
awful.
I think the hate aspect comes from this premise is horrible, and
Oh,
I like
it's absolutely awful.
Well,
the
yeah,
premise
that's
angers me, and I'm rooting for her to win. I'm rooting for her to not find a boy.
And
well, yeah,
Is
that's
my thing.
that's
I
what
like
it's meant
that
to do.
the love interest is the most bland thing ever.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
nobody.
he's the
the
most
biggest
basic
non-character,
anime, like boring boy that I've ever seen in my life.
and I hope it stays that way.
Yes.
I hope it either stays that way completely, or you find out that he's just an absolute fucking freak. Because that
would
happens
be funny
too. Like a fucking Yu Narukami eats people's science experiments freak.
Yeah, you're
The
right.
reason why
You're
I'm
like,
so
what does he
quiet is that
spend?
I'm practicing for mime school.
It's like what does he do all the time? And it just cuts to him, and he's just building Gunpla in silence.
Yes. No, and I think it's interesting that he's a bland anime, like the most like forgettable character design, because Anzu's character design is kind of like charming.
she's great, and it's like it's I feel like it's rare that anime allows heroines to just express just uncontrollable rage.
Correct.
and most of the time they aren't like allowed to be like kind of dumb too, which is something
Yeah,
she
like
is.
she's just like living, and like everyone's like, oh, if you eat all those chocolates, you're gonna get like fat and have bad skin, and she's like, I
Like,
don't give a shit.
I
I
do not
like it.
care. I am here for the
And I'm like, good
chocolates.
for you. She's like, I don't need a boy. I have my beautiful cat that I love. Good for you.
No, I'm down for this show because I appreciate her absolute bullheadedness.
That is
Just
the
like
thing. Like, if she were kind of like into this show would not be like intriguing at all.
I'm gonna say this. Her and Guts Berserk, they is the same for real. They are
They
the
might as well be the
strugglers.
same character. They might as well.
They will
What
not
else?
be consumed by their fates.
So what did we think of the like overall like art direction?
I thought it was
Good.
pretty good.
Because there were definitely aspects that I thought were like better than others. Like, I don't know.
They're living in every visual novel ever, which is okay
Yes.
because what they're doing because they're taking the power they're not spending on the background to animate Anzu more because she is always
And
doing something.
she is extreme, like, and I love the like cartoon, like they do like cartoon physics with her a lot,
Mhm.
and I think that that's really funny. Like she, like at one point, like her backpack like rubber bands and like snaps back at her, and what else?
That's when
She
she's
does
running
like the
from Riri.
wheel legs a couple of times.
Yeah, I see Sonic the Hedgehogs.
I love a wheel leg.
When she fucking throws Riri, it does the fucking Studio Trigger like energy path to show
Yes.
where he's bouncing from.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna say this is a we'll probably watch at least one more from me.
Yes, I'm kind of feeling the same way, honestly.
I think I think the dream here is that not only does she not fall for like trope anime romance shit, but she also pulls Sukasa out of it as well. Because
Yes.
I think the men here are just as bad of victims because
Yes, I agree.
because the fabric of their lives is being manipulated against their will.
Woven. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So
and if they go a different direction, it will be disappointing. But you know, what can you do?
Well,
What'd you think?
I'd watch this in a group, but I'm not gonna put this on my own.
Not gonna seek it out.
Yeah.
Valid. How about you, Blackle?
I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I watched it with my girlfriend, and she was like, "Yeah." I mean, I would watch it with my girlfriend if she wanted to watch it, but she was like, "I
Right.
do not trust this to like not give her a love interest."
Yeah, that's the
Mm.
thing is like we have our wishes, but are they going to like meet those wishes is the thing.
She actually ended up reading the summary of the last episode.
Oh, okay.
And
Spoilers.
I won't spoil it, but it gets wild.
Okay.
Well, shit. Now I have to find out.
Well, yeah. You can't just
Oh,
drop a
wow.
bomb on us like that.
I'm reading
Anyway.
it right now. Yeah.
Events occur.
Anyway, listeners, I didn't see you there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to knock you
I
over.
saw the
Listen,
listeners. I just wanted to ignore them.
listen. If you listen, I can pay you back. Just send a bill to oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is the word, not the number. Hey, do you wanna read our love letter? We posted it on Twitter. We're at One Episode Cast. If you wanna
Read our love confession at the soon-to-be X Corp.
Oh, I hate that.
You guys hear about
despise
that
it.
shit?
Yeah, we can't. Wait, listen.
Like I said,
I've been staying out of the news for reasons.
Like
So
a-
I
Yeah.
don't.
like I said earlier, like of course he would rename his social media company to some stupid shit from RoboCop.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Anyway, you can reach us there if it still exists in a week.
Yeah, we'll see. Find us.
Twitter
Cross your legs.
changes its name to
And
X.
We
cross
might
your-
have to make a
cross your
One Episode
fingers.
rule
What
just
the fuck?
Tumblr soon.
Oh my god, that'll be
Rubs
our
my little hands together.
that'll be the center of our community. See y'all there.